Captain America remains one of the most emblematic and technically intricate figures in the realm of superhero literature and modern cinematic universes. In today's script, we delve into a deep analytical exploration of Captain America's origins, evolution, and lasting significance. This video script is designed for an expert audience, providing numerical details, contextual analysis, and a thorough examination of the artistic and technical decisions behind his creation and development over multiple decades. We explore not only the narrative elements tied to his iconic shield and moral compass, but also the socio-political influences and technological advancements that have sculpted his representation. Drawing on over 70 years of publication history, we discuss in detail how Captain America's character was initially conceived as both a patriotic symbol and a nuanced response to contemporary ideological shifts. Through advanced discussion of narrative techniques, technical artwork, and marketing strategies, the analysis herein is driven by figures, data, and historical references that shed light on the evolution of his persona in both comics and film. Our discussion will challenge conventional interpretations and explore lesser-known technical details behind the design of his costume, his shield's composition, and the scientifically imbued rationale in his super soldier serum. This introduction sets the foundation for a sophisticated look into the intricacies behind one of pop culture's most celebrated legends. An appreciation for hard data, technical insight, and analytical depth is assumed, ensuring the audience is prepared for an expert-level review that is as informative as it is engaging. Strap in for a dialogue that blends deep technical insights with a relaxed, accessible tone. A journey aimed at both educating and surprising those who already know a great deal about Captain America. This analysis will synthesize historical data with modern scientific perspectives and offer a comprehensive view that resonates with experts and enthusiasts alike. Captain America's origin story is steeped in a rich interplay of historical circumstances and inventive storytelling mechanisms. Created during the height of World War II, his inception was not merely the result of creative ambition, but also a deliberate response to the prevailing geopolitical climate and emerging cultural narratives. The character's debut in Captain America Comics #1, published in March 1941 by Timely Comics, came at a time when the United States was on the precipice of global conflict, and nationalism was at its peak. Within these pages, Captain America was portrayed as the ideal human specimen, enhanced physically and morally by a groundbreaking super soldier serum, which, in retrospect, is a testament to the era's fascination with emerging scientific possibilities and frontier medical techniques. The technical conception of the super soldier serum represented an amalgamation of emerging biochemical research and wartime innovation. While actual scientific practices were in nascent stages during the early 1940s, the narrative borrowed ideas from contemporary advancements in immunology and pharmacology. Advanced research, albeit primitive by today's standards, provided a scaffold onto which the idea of human enhancement could be credibly built for a superhero narrative. The creative minds behind Captain America, notably Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, artfully designed not only the character's physical attributes but also his moral virtues, positioning him as a counterpoint to the Axis forces, a living embodiment of a nation's hope amidst pervasive uncertainty. Captain America's early adventures were brimming with panels that showcased meticulously constructed fight sequences, interwoven with discussions on patriotism and sacrifice. Beyond the artistry, the storytelling employed statistical accuracies and wartime intelligence figures to bolster credibility. For example, narrative arcs would include references to real battles and unit statistics, echoing the precision found in military logistics, thus appealing to readers' familiarity with technical data. The shield itself, an iconic element, was introduced as both a defensive tool and a symbolic artifact, its design subtly hinting at metallurgy practices known during that era. Moreover, early documentation from Marvel's archives highlights that the design philosophy of Captain America was underpinned by a rigorous application of contemporary research methods. Detailed notes, preserved in historical comic book research, reveal that certain plot elements were developed after analyzing reports on wartime technology and chemical breakthroughs. The strategic application of war statistics, including unit mobilization numbers and resource allocation figures, was interwoven with the narrative to evoke realism and instill confidence in the reader. Notably, the character's reception was immediate and profound, with early readers finding solace and empowerment in his representation. Archival circulation data and fan mail indicate that Captain America quickly became a symbol not just of resilience, but also of the promising intersections between art and science. Over the decades, Captain America has evolved from a wartime propaganda figure into a multifaceted cultural icon whose narrative complexity has expanded significantly. The transformation from his humble beginnings in the comic book pages of the 1940s to the sophisticated cinematic adaptations of today reflects broader changes in both storytelling and technological production. This evolution is marked by rigorous character reimaginings, where each new writer and director brings their own analytical and technical approach to unveiling deeper layers of his persona. Advances in digital art and special effects have enabled storytellers to map out intricate action sequences and emotional arcs, contributing to a meticulous evolution of the character's portrayal. This progression is evident in the modifications of his costume design, where tweaks in color palette and fabric textures align with advancements in material science. Experts have noted that modern depictions subtly incorporate polymer and nanotechnology-inspired patterns, hinting at the intersection of contemporary research with traditional artistic legacies. In parallel, the characterization of his super soldier serum has evolved. Early depictions hinted at simplistic biological enhancements, while modern narratives introduce detailed biochemical pathways and genetic engineering processes, elements that resonate with current advancements in medical technology. Data-driven plot devices, such as statistical odds in combat sequences and probabilistic outcomes during tactical confrontations, add a layer of technical authenticity that appeals to expert-level scrutiny. Additionally, the evolution of his dialogue and internal conflict has embraced themes of moral ambiguity and scientific ethics. Modern storytellers explore the dilemmas accompanying advanced human augmentation techniques, questioning both the costs and potential benefits of such innovations. Consequently, the modern Captain America narrative is not merely a chronicle of physical prowess, but also a forum for debate on the ethical ramifications of technological progress. Each iteration of the character's narrative is supported by rigorous research and a commitment to authenticity. Scholars have dissected panels and scenes, extracting technical insights about the materials, methodologies, and digital innovations that have underpinned his transformation, ensuring that his evolution remains as dynamic as the times he thrives in. Captain America stands as a seminal figure whose significance transcends mere entertainment. He embodies a duality that is both symbolic and grounded in technical expertise, a bridge between ethical leadership and scientific inquiry. His portrayal has consistently been rooted in the interplay of artistic expression and systematic representation of patriotic ideals. By marrying moral integrity with an appreciation for technological progress, the character becomes a case study in how narrative art can simultaneously serve as inspiration and a model of data-driven discipline. Detailed exegesis of his actions, such as the calculated deployment of his shield, reflects an underlying mathematical symmetry that appeals to experts familiar with physics and material engineering principles. A thorough analysis of his various appearances reveals that every cinematic reinterpretation and comic issue incorporates incremental improvements based on rigorous technical analysis. Detailed breakdowns of his combat techniques often reference Newtonian mechanics, illustrating calculations of momentum transfer and energy absorption. Scholars studying the physics of superhero capabilities have noted that his shield operates on principles reminiscent of modern composite material technology, a fascinating example of applied science in pop culture. His narrative frequently incorporates statistical probabilities of survival and precise force distribution models during combat, lending an element of empirical rigor that deepens his cultural significance. Beyond physical science, Captain America's narrative functions as a rich text for examining ethical fortitude and socio-political commentary. His decisions, frequently analyzed in academic circles, serve as benchmarks for crisis leadership and ethical decision-making under pressure. An exploration of Captain America's most iconic story arcs reveals a tapestry of battles that are both meticulously crafted and narratively compelling. Focusing on key moments, this script delves into pivotal encounters that have defined his journey. In the early pages of his comics, intricate storylines were built on encounters with formidable adversaries, each battle underpinned by strategic deployments and quantifiable outcomes. One defining arc is his confrontation with the Red Skull, a narrative infused with military strategy and detailed statistical analyses reminiscent of real-world tactical disciplines. This battle, among others, highlights how precise data and calculated risk formed the backbone of his early adventures. His campaign against Hydra, as depicted in both classic comics and modern films, combines measured force application with defensive logistics rendered in meticulous detail. Within these sequences, elements such as energy distribution, impact force measurements, and recovery ratios underscore the technical rigor embedded in the narrative. Dialogues in these confrontations often include references to risk probabilities and mission-critical calculations, ensuring that even the most fantastical encounters maintain a grounding in real-world operational parameters. Advanced story arcs further demonstrate how Captain America's decisions are driven by quantitative analysis. Captain America's cultural impact is both profound and quantifiable, resonating deeply across artistic, academic, and scientific communities. His legacy is measured not only in iconic imagery and narrative milestones, but also in the hard data reflecting shifts in cultural trends and consumer behavior. Comprehensive market analyses, academic studies, and fan engagement metrics all underscore how his character has influenced both economic parameters and socio-political discourse. Beyond commercial success, Captain America's narrative has also directly influenced technical fields. Researchers have scrutinized every facet of his legendary shield, drawing parallels between its fictional composite construction and modern advancements in materials science. Metallurgists and engineers reference his shield when discussing composite strength and energy absorption under stress, transforming an element of fantasy into a topic of technical discussion. Looking forward, the future potential of Captain America's story is as boundless as the technological advancements that continue to reshape narrative landscapes. Trends in digital rendering, virtual reality, and augmented interfaces, combined with breakthroughs in materials science and genetic engineering, suggest that new dimensions of the character will soon be explored. Upcoming adaptations are expected to integrate advanced simulation techniques and real-time analytics, blurring the traditional boundaries between narrative fiction and scientific possibility. Researchers are already employing machine learning algorithms and predictive modeling to analyze emerging trends in superhero storytelling, signaling an era in which historical data underpins creative innovation. These evolving techniques promise narratives that are both visually compelling and rigorously technical, merging empirical research with imaginative exploration. The integration of big data into story development offers unprecedented insights into audience behavior and engagement metrics, ensuring that future narratives remain both inventive and precisely tailored.